there's a possibility that I might have gallstones. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to go over my third trimester recap. Technically I'm still in the third trimester. I'll be 37 weeks probably when this video goes out. Yeah, I'm not sure when this baby's actually going to come. I'd like for this baby to come early because third babies typically come early, but I'm trying not to put that in my head, but it's already there. So it's gonna be really hard if I go post dates. But if it's 2 weeks after the due date, then this baby could come technically right around or on Aria's birthday, and I really don't want my kids to have to share a birthday, so hoping that this baby comes in time. The last update that I gave you was second trimester, and that seems like ages ago, and it also feels like so much has changed since then. Right after I had that video, I went through a time where my back was giving me the most problems. I went to my physical therapist and she gave me a couple different core exercises to do, and I started doing them. I wasn't really great about doing them at first, but then I started doing them every single morning, and since then I haven't done them over the past couple of weeks just because I've been like so tired. But doing those really seemed to help my back. My back has not been giving me that much problems anymore. My hips are starting to give me problems, but that's just from sleeping, I think, and I've been trying to go on more walks and stuff, so my hips joints are like a little bit painful some days, but it's not too terrible. So yeah, I went through this period where my back was giving me the most trouble out of everything else, and nothing else was bothering me other than Big Bertha, but she's always a problem. Yeah, Big Bertha doesn't seem like she's getting any bigger, but she's getting a little more painful as I'm on my feet more. I've noticed that my heels are starting to hurt more at night, and so sometimes I'm like, Hunter, can you just like, you don't have to massage my feet, just squeeze my heels because they hurt so bad. But yeah, I no longer feel like that cute bump. My bump is not even that big compared to what it was, especially with Malachi. But I don't feel like a cute pregnant person anymore. I don't feel ugly by any means, but I just feel like the exhausted pregnant person at this point. So no longer feel super cute, but don't feel super big or anything. I just feel super exhausted. And another update from last time is that the baby's moving around a lot more, but it's still not moving around nearly as much as what Aria and Malachi did. I do constantly feel this baby move, but it's just not as powerful of kicks and turns and stuff like Malachi and Aria did. Maybe that means that this baby will be calm. Hoping. But yeah, you can see that we got our bassinet. I am obsessed. I found it from somebody on Facebook Marketplace that was selling it. It's one of those really nice ones that's made in Africa, I think. I don't know. I'll put the website in the description box, but I wouldn't spend full price on the website. But I got this one from somebody from Facebook Marketplace. It's still in great condition, and I didn't have to pay full price. So that's how I like to roll here, but it's super cute. I'm really excited. This thing comes out, and I can take it downstairs with me, so I'm really excited for when the baby gets here to have this upstairs and downstairs. And I've been practicing with the kids, like, we don't shake this thing, we just rock it like this. I'm trying to have them practice for when the baby gets here so that they're not surprised with anything. Aria was very shocked to hear that babies drink from boobies, so that was interesting to tell her. But I think they'll enjoy the process of having a new baby, and at least that's what I'm hoping. I know it'll be a transition, and I know that there will be attitudes and fits and tantrums, but hopefully by trying to get them to understand that mommy needs to take some time to nurse, mommy needs to take some time to burp the baby, you can do this part, I can do this part, we can share the responsibility and nobody gets upset. Like, hopefully that helps them with the transition. Another thing, I've been buying lots of baby clothes and it's a little difficult because we don't know what the gender of the baby is. So I've been getting both. Every time I feel like every time I go to Target, of course it's always Target, always Target. Every time I go there, I always pick up a new baby outfit. Sometimes it's a boy outfit, sometimes it's a girl outfit. But thankfully I have so many other friends right now that are pregnant, some of them having boys, some of them having girls. So once this baby gets here, whatever gender it's not, I have people that I can give the other clothes to. So, but I just get super excited buying baby's clothes, and they're just so cute, and I can't, It makes me think of baby names, which we're still arguing about. We have a girl name picked out and like a backup girl name just in case the baby comes. We're like, ooh, not that name. We'll go with this one. We have like one boy name and we're still debating on middle names. So it's a little difficult and we need to get on it because this baby could come very soon or in like a month-ish. So we need to get that figured out. But I like looking at the clothes and thinking of names as I pick out the clothes, and it helps me pick out a name because I'm like, this outfit looks like this name and this outfit looks like this name and this seems to fit with our family. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird or maybe you guys do that too. I'm not sure, but I love picking out baby clothes. Other things, last time with Malachi's pregnancy, I had a lot of Braxton Hicks contractions. I had them for like a week maybe, but that may have been during the time where I was doing all that nesting stuff. I know that you can get Braxton Hicks when you're very active or doing a lot more activity than you normally do. So that could have been why I was feeling a little bit of Braxton Hicks, but I've also been a lot more hydrated this pregnancy, so that's probably why I haven't gotten them as much compared to my previous pregnancies. I've been drinking a lot of water every day, probably between 80 to 100 ounces of water I've been drinking every day, and I've been also drinking about 4-ish cups. Well, I'll get into that, but I've been drinking a lot of tea too. Another thing I did, I've been packing my birth bag for the birthing center and / hospital if I need an emergent transfer or something. So I have my bag with me and I'm in the middle of packing the baby bag just because I keep finding new cuter outfits than the ones I had previously picked out for like a coming home outfit. So that bag's almost packed. I finally have the boy outfit and the girl outfit completely finalized so I can finish packing that bag, and I have my snack bag packed because the birthing center was like, you guys need to bring your own snacks, like bring food, because that's the one thing we don't have here like ever, so bring food. So I have a whole bunch of food packed. Not the healthiest food. Like some people are like, oh, I brought like squeezable almond butter packets that are all natural and this kind of all natural granola bar so it would give me energy, and I brought plain dates so I can eat them, and I have like Slim Jims and a Lunchable. But that's just me. I have other things too, but those are the things that I'm most excited about in my snack bag. What's something else? Oh, this is a big thing, guys. Okay, so there's a possibility that I may have gallstones during this pregnancy. I did not know that this was even a thing, but about 4 times this trimester, I've had this crazy chest pain. I had no idea what was happening the first time, and it was unlike anything that I've ever experienced. Never had this pain in Arya's pregnancy, never had this pain in Malachi's pregnancy, and this time it was like this pain, I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna call my midwife about it because I don't know what to do. So I called my midwife. At first we weren't sure what it was, and she told me that maybe just because I was kind of like beginning / middle of the 3rd trimester when this was happening, so she thought that maybe it was just because of the baby growing up and moving things out of the way and shifting my insides, that it was just maybe getting uncomfortable, or the baby was kicking somewhere where it wasn't comfortable or kicking a nerve or something. It's like, okay, maybe, but in my back of my mind I was like, that's definitely not it, because I've had 2 pregnancies before and things have moved out of the way before and it's never been like this. And Malachi was higher and lower. Malachi was just big. So I felt like if my body needed to move more this pregnancy than my other pregnancies, my belly would be bigger, and it wasn't, especially at that point in my 3rd trimester. So I didn't think that that was causing my pain. And then it happened again. It wasn't quite as bad this time. And then it happened again, and I can't remember if it was 3 times it happened or 4, but 3 times are specifically coming into my mind. But the 3rd time was just a couple of weeks ago, and it was after Christmas. We were driving home from my parents' house, and it was crazy painful. So this is what it felt like pretty much every time, sometimes worse than other times. This last time hurt so bad. The pain came in waves, and it felt like it was in my rib cage, but mainly either directly in the center or a little bit off to the right. But I was like, this pain is like in my upper right side, and I know that that's a sign of preeclampsia, But I did actually, that was the other thing that happened in this pregnancy. I had one blood pressure that was a little bit elevated, but it was still within normal range. So I had bought a blood pressure monitor that I kept at the house, and my blood pressure's been fine ever since then. It came back down, it's been leveled out, it's been totally normal. So I knew that like this right upper quadrant pain was not in relation to preeclampsia because I had no other symptoms and my blood pressure was normal. So I didn't know what was going on, but it was definitely like in the center of my ribs, a little bit off to the right is where the most painful part was, but it would radiate to my back. It didn't feel like heartburn. It felt like a heart attack. And it also felt like there was a boa constrictor wrapping itself around me and just squeezing. And it felt like my bones were being crushed. I have never experienced something not that painful, because labor was definitely painful, but this was a different type of pain. I told Hunter, like, I didn't even cry during Malachi's labor, but I feel like crying during this. I feel like if I wasn't pregnant, I would be in the hospital right now because I think that I'd be having a heart attack. We were talking about it and I called the midwife again and I was like, I really don't know what's going on. I've been having this pain that's been coming in waves off and on for about 5 hours now, and I took antacids and it's not going away, so I don't know what's going on. And like, because at that point she was thinking that it could possibly be heartburn. And so then I started thinking, have I been just a wimp this whole entire time and thinking that my acid reflux was heartburn and that this chest pain is actually what heartburn feels like, and I've just never experienced it before? Like, do I have that low of a pain tolerance that I don't even know what heartburn feels like? But then after we had stopped talking on the phone later, I was like, okay, no, I definitely have had heartburn in between these chest pains, and this chest pain is totally different. Like, this is completely different. So that pain eventually went away, thank goodness, and it has not come back in a couple weeks, so in about 2 weeks now. But when I went into my 36-week appointment, I was talking to my midwife about it, and she agrees with me that we think this could be gallstones or gallbladder attacks. And the reason why that came into my mind, like, I didn't even know that that was a thing, but the reason that came into my mind is I've been going podcast crazy towards the end of this pregnancy, as I've done with both of my other pregnancies towards the end, listening to the Birth Hour and the Birthful podcast and my midwife's podcast, the Wine About Birth podcast. But this one woman was telling her birth story, and she was explaining how she had these crazy bad chest pains. Nobody could tell her what it was, and her doctors just kept telling her that she had indigestion. It's just heartburn, it's just indigestion. But one doctor told her, you know what, I think you should get your gallbladder checked out. And she did, and she had gallstones. So I was like, oh my word, that thought never even entered my mind. So then I started Googling, as everyone would, and I found that apparently gallstones can be quite common in pregnancy, which I didn't know. Apparently it's something with your hormone levels can make gallstones worse. If you have already had gallstones, they can get worse in pregnancy, so on and so forth. So apparently it's very common, and so I brought it up to my midwife at my 36-week appointment, and she agrees. Like, she thinks that it could very well be gallstones. We would have to get an ultrasound of that area, but there's really nothing you can do about it while you're pregnant, unless it gets so bad that like your gallbladder might rupture or something. But she said that if I had another attack, I'm just gonna go to the hospital, they'll do an ultrasound to verify that that's actually what it is, and then see what we need to do from there. Most likely I won't need to do anything while I'm pregnant, but if it gets worse, then I might have to get my gallbladder removed. I'm hoping that after I'm not pregnant anymore, my hormone levels will start to balance out after. I don't even know if they'll balance out because I'll hopefully be breastfeeding, so I'm not sure. But once my hormone levels balance out, hopefully the gallstones won't be as bad. You can like manage it with diet and things, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to not have to get my gallbladder removed. But yeah, so that was the biggest thing that's been happening this third trimester that I've never experienced before, that I didn't know was a possibility during pregnancy. But other things, I've been farting all the time, I've been peeing all the time, I've been drinking all of the red raspberry leaf tea, and I started eating dates right at 36 weeks because dates sound disgusting to me. I've never liked the flavor really of dates, and I hate the texture of dates. But the research is very convincing to me that dates can be very helpful with starting to thin your cervix to prep you for labor, not like as an induction method, but as a helpful get ready for labor technique. So I made cinnamon date butter, and I've been using that either on sourdough toast. I'm gonna start putting it in oatmeal, but I've been putting it in like frappes with like 4 tablespoons of this date butter in it. So I get my dates in for the day, but I don't have to taste them, and it's actually really good. So I might do a video with the recipe for that and my date butter and stuff, but I've been doing a lot of eating dates over the past couple of days. Just started that right around 36 weeks, and I've been drinking red raspberry leaf tea all the way back to like 29, 30 weeks pregnant. I was drinking 1 cup a day and then slowly adding cups. So right now I'm drinking about 4 cups a day. Sometimes the cups have 2 tea bags, sometimes they only have 1. I'm really drinking a lot of red raspberry leaf tea. So I've been doing all of the things to try to prep my body for labor that are not like induction methods, but they're just labor prep type things. So I've also been doing a lot of walking when it's not super cold or super snowy out. Interrupting myself because I forgot to mention when I was sitting down to record that I stopped running and I've switched over to walking. The last race I ran, I was 30 weeks pregnant. It was Thanksgiving Day, and I ran the turkey trot, and it was amazing. I'm glad I did it. It was so much fun. I felt like a boss. But after that, my hips hurt so bad, and I just started getting bigger and more uncomfortable. So I switched from running to walking. So I've been walking, trying to walk every day for about 30 to 40 minutes, depending on the weather. But yeah. Anyway, back to the regular video. Like I said, I've been listening to a whole bunch of podcasts, and I love listening to podcasts because I just love learning about birth. I think that is so cool to me. Like, I don't know, I've been thinking, and maybe after the kids get old enough, I would consider being a doula on the side. I want to do that. I either want to do some sort of doula something, or maybe become a birth photographer whenever the kids get old enough so they don't need me as much, but I would love that so much. I love the birthing process. I think it's so interesting, and I cannot get enough information about it. Hunter and I've been learning a lot, trying to prep ourselves for the big day. Not sure what to expect. Labor with Malachi was about 3 hours. The birthing center is about an hour away. So if my water breaks, we're just gonna head down to the birth center, hang out in the general vicinity of where the birth center is to see if contractions start, so that we're already right there. But if contractions start, not sure how I'm gonna process that, because last time I had prodromal contractions, so it's not like I can go right in whenever I start feeling contractions, because they might go away. So it's all in God's hands, but I've been praying a lot. I've been really hoping for a water birth. Anything could happen. So I'm trying to keep my mind open, but I'm very ready to meet this baby. I cannot wait to figure out what the sex of this baby is. It's just such an exciting time, and I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped. I will show you guys my belly. It is not as big. If you go back and look at 36, 37 week update with Malachi, my belly is not as big as then, but this is my belly right now. It's just not super big, but I think I dropped. Like, the butt of the baby is right here right now, but it used to be like up here. So I feel like I dropped, but I don't think the baby has engaged yet. I was talking to the midwives about it, and I'm like, I just want you guys to make sure that this baby is head down, because this butt is either a really hard butt or a head. So they verified the baby is head down, most likely will stay head down. But yeah, I think the baby dropped finally and just might not be engaged, because I don't feel any pressure in my pelvis area yet. Not necessarily a bad thing, because that's not a fun feeling to feel, but it just makes me like, ooh, am I gonna go into labor on time because I don't feel any pressure down there? Maybe this baby is gonna be like 5 weeks late. I know that's not a thing, but yeah, so I don't know, maybe I'll update you guys if something else happens. If I have another gallbladder attack, I'll probably make a video about that, explaining what's going on, if they found gallstones, if I went to the hospital or anything. But until then, I might have a video up about what's in my birthing bags and the baby's bag, and like the coming home outfit for boy and girl, because I'm really excited about those. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in my next video. Keep smiling, keep finding the joy. Thanks guys, bye!